Experiment time. Today I'm going to spike low-quality all-purpose flour with Vital wheat gluten to see if it makes for better gluten development. Will it make a difference? Hi, I'm Sune and I'm a food geek. Today I'm taking the lowest quality all-purpose flour that I have available and I'm going to spike it with Vital wheat gluten flour to see if extra added gluten will strengthen the dough. This video is the first part in a series where I will look into Vital wheat gluten and its possible uses with different flours. The flour that I will be using in this video is a supermarket non-branded, non-organic flour with 9.6 grams of protein per 100 grams of flour. I normally bake with a flour with between 12 and 13 grams of protein, so this is significantly less than usual. The Vital wheat gluten flour that I'm using is from Bob's Red Mill, and if you want to get it yourself, I've left a link in the description. Heads up, it's an affiliate link, which means that if you buy it, I will get a percentage of the sale. I will be baking one bread where I don't add any Vital wheat gluten, and then I will up the amount by 1% for each bread, which means that the first bread will have 9.6 grams of protein per 100 grams, the second 10.6, the third 11.6, and the last one 12.6. If you're new to this channel, I bake a lot of sourdough bread and I make delicious food from all over the world. My goal is to show you how to get the most out of every ingredient, and I want to teach you how to do that in simple and understandable steps. So join me by subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss any future videos. The dough that I'm making today will contain 100% of the all-purpose flour, so no whole grain component. Each loaf weighs 700 grams, the hydration is 75%, and the salt content is 1.9%. The inoculation is 20%. The way I figured out how much Vital wheat gluten to add to each bread was to use my own Vital wheat gluten calculator. The way you do it is you type in the amount of protein in your flour, then you type in the amount of protein in your Vital wheat gluten flour, and then the desired protein percentage in the mixed flour, and the last number is the amount of flour that you need. Then you'll get a simple recipe for what to mix to get a new flour with the desired amount of protein. That's pretty easy, isn't it? If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a Patreon, which I'm linking in the card above. Or you can buy some merch, or you can use the links in the description for tools and ingredients. Those links are affiliate links, and if you buy something, I will get a percentage. Those were the words. This is the recipe. The formula for the bread made in this experiment is linked in the description and the card above. First, I'm mixing the control, which doesn't have any Vital wheat gluten in it. I just mix until all the flour has been hydrated. Then I mix the one with 10.6 grams of protein. Then the one with 11.6 grams of protein. And then the last one with 12.6 grams of protein. Then I let all the doughs rest for 1 hour. While this is not technically an autolyse, this helps the gluten development. Then I start bulk fermentation, and I intend to do 3 sets of stretch and fold spaced out by 30 minutes. The first set of stretch and folds. second set of stretch and folds. And the third set of stretch and folds. You see, this one looks pretty slack. This one already has a bit more definition. And a bit more in this one. This one you can go to town on the stretches. Then I do a Windowpane test to see if the gluten is properly developed. And it is, so I put my dough in a see-through container where I can easily monitor the growth. I leave the dough to ferment at room temperature, which in this case is about 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. When the dough has grown 25%, which means about a quarter of its original size, I end the bulk and divide and pre-shape the dough. First, the dough without any Vital wheat gluten. Then the dough with 10.6 grams of protein per 100 grams of flour. Then the dough with 11.6 grams of protein. And then the dough with 12.6 grams of protein. Then I let the dough rest uncovered on the counter for 20 minutes and then I final shape it. First, the dough without any Vital wheat gluten. This one is so sticky. I really need to be careful that it doesn't stick to my fingers and the table. Then the dough with 10.6 grams of protein. It's already much better in this dough, much better to work with. Then the dough with 11.6 grams of protein. See, this is starting to look like a proper bread dough. And the dough with 12.6 grams. This is the stuff. It doesn't stick and it stays together really well. After I put them all in bannetons, I put them in the fridge to retard for about 18 hours. About an hour before the 18 hours are up, I preheat my oven to 260°C, 500°F. Then I grab my dough from the fridge. This is the control. Then I flip it. I dust it. I score it. And then I bake it. And here it comes out of the oven. Not bad. Looking good. Nice. Wow, that's some nice oven spring. Let's cut these open. First, the control. Nice crust and crumb. It's pretty flat though. And then the 10.6 grams. Very open crumb and nice height too. Now the 11.6. Nice crumb too and good spring. Lastly, the 12.6 grams. This bread looks close to perfection for me. Great spring and nice crumb. I think it may be a bit closer due to a bit harder shaping. And now let's look at all four in all their glory.
But that was quite an interesting experiment. As you could tell, the dough did get stronger by adding more protein,
but it certainly did not change the hydration that the flour could take, which I think is an important takeaway. High hydration is not a goal in itself, but it's more about what's needed for the flour that you're using. What is important is gluten content though. While you can still make bread with low amount of protein in the flour, it will require an increasingly higher skill of the baker. So to set yourself up for success, you may want to add some extra gluten to your flour if you cannot get high protein flour where you live. I hope you learned something today. And what is it I say? See you next time.